Hello, I'm so happy I got a hold of you. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Lucious Showcase. I am Lucious T, and welcome to week 3 of 16-bit RPG month. This week, we're taking a look at Shadowrun on the Super Nintendo. It was a debate between this and the Genesis one, which I do have as well, but you know me, I gotta check out the Super Nintendo one first, especially since this is the game I picked up when the vendor felt bad for me at Retropalooza that I lost out on Little Samson, and I want to say I got this for $20. So a steal. Especially now, I think it goes for $60. Anyways, what do I think about it? Let's find out.
There's a lot of games out there, some of which you've never even heard of. That's where I come in. I'm Lucious T. I've been playing games since the age of 2, and I have no life. This is Retroactive.
Shadowrun, going into it, I had no idea about the source material. It's basically a pen and paper RPG that's similar to Dungeons and Dragons. Instead of being in a fantasy setting, is in more of a Blade Runner cyberpunk setting. That's kind of where this whole cyberpunk stuff, this is kind of the origin of it, I guess, in a lot of ways, because I don't know of anything, just maybe Blade Runner. But it's interesting that this game in the series still has a lot of fantasy elements in it, because even though it takes place in the future, you still have trolls, you still have orcs, you still have vampires, dragons, and all manner of creatures, dog wizards, people like elves and dwarfs. You start off in the game and you're immediately killed, you wake up in the morgue, and the control scheme takes some getting used to. You have to push the R button to open stuff and then also to pick up stuff. Once you finally do find a weapon, which takes a while, the first part of the game you're pretty much helpless, just running around looking for clues, finding your apartment, finding out things. And even the gun area, you just have to book for it, grab the gun, kill the guy, and get the hell out of Dodge. Luckily, there's unlimited ammo, so whatever weapon you do get will have unlimited ammo, and that's your attack. You get a little crosshair reticle that you have to put over the enemy. Once it's on the enemy, it generally will follow the enemy if they move a little bit, unless they go crazy or walk off screen. Keep pumping and eventually they die. After you kill enough enemies, you get something called a karma point. And the karma point is the way you level yourself and level your skills. There is no level system in this game. As far as the karma system goes, you can find great grinding areas to just level yourself up. That's what I did. Once I got to the second area, which is the arena fight, because you always have to have an arena section in every RPG, you're trapped in there unless you bribe your way out or fight your way out. And there's a small section that enemies spawn in, and it's really close to where your bed is, where you can heal to full health and spend the karma points in. So I just spent hours there, like probably over the course of 2 days. I would play for 3 or 4 hours, just level myself up, because you get a karma point in that area after killing about 4 enemies. So you kill 4 enemies, you get 1 point. And the way the karma system works is if you have strength of 2 and say your firearm skill, you need 2 karma to get to 3, and then you need 3 karma to get to 4, and so on and so forth until it eventually caps out. And every one of your stamina, which I think is your health or body, every one of those points gives you an extra 10 health. And at this point, I didn't have the healing spell, and there's nowhere where you can really buy successful potions other than the slap patches, but you can only carry 6 of those at once, and they really don't do much. And there's a lot of slowdown in the game too, so you gotta be careful in these fight scenarios, especially once later when we get with the mercenaries. If you click on something and it pops up, it can take forever and a day to happen, so it's just better to have more health. But I got my health up to almost max, my firearm's almost max, all the other skills. A lot of the skills you didn't need to max out, but I did anyway. And it made the game a hell of a lot easier. I always love to find good grinding spots to get up, and in this game it's hard to avoid it because it's the same amount of time to get all your levels up. Especially the more health you have, the longer you can stay out there. You kill a bunch of dudes, it's easy enough. Although they are called mages and other names, even though they're guys in hats and whatnot. And there's a system where you can hire people, and you can have 2 of them. They stay with you for a time, although sometimes I was able to get 3 of them, so I'm not sure why. Sometimes I'd have a group of 4, sometimes I'd have a group of 3, and he's like, oh, you can't hire me back. And if they die, they don't die permanently, they just spawn back where you recruited them. You can go back and get them again. So I ran with the elf dude, and I originally grabbed this one mage guy, but he betrayed me. We actually, in this third section, I went to the tower place. The tower is like almost the end of the game, and I did that as soon as I got there. which I wasn't supposed to, and that was hilarious because I had so much health and so many items, even though I was using the pistol. Like, I was using the pistol for the longest damn time until I finally got the shotgun, and thank God, because that's finally I could do more than 1 or 3 damage on somebody. But yeah, we went through the tower section, and there's all these terminals you can hack, which ironically jacks into the Matrix, which is funny as far as that goes. I didn't know that the Matrix was actually an established thing. Although in this one, you go in and you more or less do these little mini games, almost minesweeper mini games, until you get out of it. And then there's a chat tree system that is one of the most cumbersome and one of the coolest parts of the game, because you get these keywords like negotiations or Decker or firearms or whatever. You get these keywords that then you have to take to other NPCs, and if you use that keyword on them in a chat tree, then they'll give you a new section of dialogue, which may lead to a new keyword, or may lead to a new thing opening up, or a thing you have to do. For the most part, it's fine, but when you don't know where you're going or don't know what next thing to key up, because it's very much one of those games where there's nothing else to go in the world until you do this one random button push. Once that happens, you can progress. So if you don't do that, you can be stuck, and it takes forever to go through those dialogue options, because you have to ask them, it goes to the thing, no, and then it starts you back in the menu. You have to go back in the chat and go back in there. And if there's 20, 30 different dialogue options and you have 5 NPCs in a new place or a place that you hadn't been to in a while, it takes a while to go through it. So that's a little overdone in my opinion. I didn't like that as much. Like, yeah, bro, I'm supposed to know I have to ask you for strobes to get a strobe light so then I can paralyze this vampire. And then when I tell him I'm not going to stake him, he gives me something and then I stake him anyways, because hell yeah, screw the vampire, bro. Twilight sucks. Overall, very enjoyable game. The control scheme, while it is not great, like, this is a game that you wouldn't want the manual for, I feel, just because there's so many things outside of it, and it would help kind of ground you in reality. But it is really, the areas, there's not that much world, so you can realistically search and scour every corner pretty quickly. Not too bad in as far, like, it's more of an Icewind Dale experience than it is like anything else on the Super Nintendo, so I really enjoyed that. But there was some stuff that I wish was better, but I enjoyed it. As far as rating goes, I give it an 8.25. It is good, but it's not up there with my favorite RPGs on the system. I think the fact that it's so unique, Rockets is up higher than it would be otherwise, but I enjoyed it. As far as pick it up, play it, or skip it, I'm barely giving it a pick it up. The game's $60 around now, which I think is getting to the tops. You know, I never like spending more than what a game, realistically, a brand new game should cost us $60. So yeah, 60 for cart only, whatever. Super Nintendo carts look good. I like having them on my shelf. So yeah, I think it's worth a pick it up. So pick it up. And there you have it, Shadowrun, great game, pick it up. I really enjoyed this. This was a fun change of pace for most of the other Super Nintendo RPGs I played, and that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to start with this one and not the Genesis one. Let me know if I should play the Genesis one too. I know the answer is probably yes, because from what I know, it's essentially the same story, but completely different, and a different combat style too. Anyways, let me know what you thought about this game. As a reminder, I release a new video every Tuesday. Please like and subscribe to the video. It's been so great getting a hold of you guys. Take care.